Who wants this? Does anyone want this? Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Would you like this $100 bill? Yes? I imagine most people would say yes. Okay, hold on a minute. I'm going to stomp on it. I'm going to crinkle it up. This bill has been used. It's been abused. It's been trampled on. Who still wants it? Do you still want it? It's been used and abused and trampled all over. It's damaged goods. Yet I bet that you still want it. Why would you still want this? Type it in the chat. Who still wants this? It hasn't lost its value at all, has it? In fact, now it has a little more character. So much like you, doesn't matter what you've been through in life. People often define themselves through the worst thing that's ever happened to them. They feel like they're damaged goods, like they're broken. They've been used, they've been abused, they've been hurt. And they think that that decreases their value somehow, that no one's going to want them. But in fact, it actually provides some wisdom. Now you have a story to share. Your value doesn't change at all. It's exactly the same. And so I invite you to not describe yourself and not identify yourself through the worst thing that's ever happened to you. That has nothing to do with who you are. Who you are, how many of you believe that who you are at the core is love? Give me a heart. Give me a heart in the chat if you believe that at your core you are love. That you come from love, you return to love. And we're really here to come back to love, to go home to love, to actually start to express authentically. And if your authentic self is love, if that's true, then actually the best, most kind and loving thing you've ever done is the closest to the truth of who you are. But people get caught identifying themselves through the filter of the worst thing that's ever happened to them, the worst thing that they've ever done. And I know this because they come into my coaching and they tell me, Jerry, if you really knew me, you wouldn't love me. I don't know how you can love me. You don't know all the stuff, all the pain that I've caused myself and others. And I beg to differ, because if you really knew you, you would love you. My name is Jerry Turand. I'm a self-love, forgiveness, and relationship coach. So really my mission is to help people connect with the truth of who they are and start to operate from that place and start to reside in that place of pure love, start to make decisions from love. My mission is to help make love more familiar territory than fear. Because right now, we have this push-pull. We have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake when it comes to love, don't we? So we say that we want this grand, amazing, loving connection, but then when it comes to us, it scares the crap out of us. We don't know how to be open to it. We have all these ideas, all these beliefs, all these judgments, all these fears, self-doubt in the way of true, pure connection. My business is Living from Heart Center. And I really do make that my business, to help people learn to live from that place of connecting with their heart, centering themselves so that they can actually be the eye of the hurricane, so they can be with what is. That's healing. You know you're healed when you can actually just fully be present for and welcome what is. Healing is integration. It's integrating all the parts, every single part of you that you've rejected, that you've judged, that you've exiled, and it's bringing it back into your heart. and loving it. So what if it's not our job to fix or change anything? But in fact, it's our job to love it enough so that it just lets go of you. That's freedom. The freedom to just be and express the love that you are freely, openly, and to receive love freely and openly with nothing in the way. So I'm all about helping people to have an experience, at least a glimpse of that level of connection. So I call it connection beyond belief. And where do beliefs come from? They come from the mind. And so one of the first steps in really accessing connection beyond belief is to let go of the mind. You have to get out of your mind. Get out of your head and get into your heart. True connection, pure connection. So how many of you would like to be free? Put freedom in the chat if you'd like to be free. Free to really be and express your brilliance, your gifts in the world, without all of the fear and the doubt in the way. But the way to transmute fear and doubt is maybe not what you think. Remember that book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway? Some people read that as you got to push through the fear, you've got to do the thing that scares you most. But really it's a two-step process, isn't it? Feel the fear. And then take a baby step toward it so that it's sustainable, so it doesn't scare the crap out of you, so you don't end up cocooning and going back into that cocoon, right? Feel the fear. Welcome the fear. What you resist persists. So if you resist the fear, if you try and push through the fear, if you force yourself through it, it'll persist. And in fact, it'll even enlarge, right? What we focus on, we energize. Repeat after me. I forgive myself for believing that I should be different than I am. Take a nice deep breath and really receive that into your heart. I forgive myself for believing that I should be different than I am. That I should be some fearless, confident, amazing woman that's just sharing her gifts freely, fearlessly. What if how you're showing up and what's happening is perfect? And it's exactly what needs to happen for your growth, for your evolution, so that you can be the one that shifts things for your family, for your ancestors, for your friends, so you can role model what it is to just welcome every part of you. Welcome that scared little girl in you. Bring her into your heart. Don't tell her to suck it up, push through it, encourage her. But really, she just needs your love. She needs you to tell her you're allowed to be afraid. So that affirmation has really served me. And in fact, there's 3 affirmations that have served me greatly. So the first one is forgiving yourself for believing you should be different than you are. Just welcoming every single part of you back into your heart. That's integration. That's healing. That's what love would do. And then often we have judgments that disconnect us from others, where we're not able to be fully present with ourselves and with another. And so the second one, try this with your hand on your heart. I forgive myself for believing that they should be different than they are. Breathe it in. And then you can put a name in. I forgive myself for believing that my mother should be different than she is. That my sister should be different than she is. My brother. What if the way they are is perfect? For their growth and evolution, for my growth and evolution, what if we really are perfectly imperfect? We're humans and spirit at the same time. And we need to bridge that gap. We need to bring heaven to earth. And we can do that. It's already there. It's just a matter of us connecting more deeply and transmuting the stuff that's in between us and true, pure connection with whatever's in front of us, with ourselves, with life, and with others. I forgive myself for believing that life should be different than it is. Type yes if this is resonating. What if you just practice these 3 statements this week? Every time you notice that there's something in the way of the fullness of the experience of life, something in the way of you being intimate with another, with a tree, with yourself. I forgive myself for believing that anyone and anything should be different than it is. Who am I to judge? Who's heard of Ho'oponopono? Ho'oponopono. Type yes in the chat if you've heard of Ho'oponopono. So Ho'oponopono is a Hawaiian forgiveness process that's been around for a very, very long time, for centuries. And some people think of it just as a mantra. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. But it's so much more than that. It's really, my favorite definition of forgiveness is something that returns you to your original form. It reconnects you with the truth of who you are. Yeah, thank you. Hey, now I finally see where everyone is. Hey, Kim. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Kay. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so forgiveness is returning to your original form, which is love. It's this pure love. And so whatever's in the way of that love and that true connection with yourself and with others, Ho'oponopono has the power to start to dissolve what's in the way and to remind you of the perfection and return you to the perfection of all that is. Releasing those judgments, releasing those fears so that you can just be fully present with what is. When you're fully present, your presence is your safety. You are safe. You're safe to be and express who you are, and it's none of your business what they think of you. Right? I wanted to lead you through a brief little meditation I'm just looking at. So I only have just a really short version. So some of my favorite phrases and the way that I healed myself when I was going through my first dark night of the soul, which I ended up being diagnosed with mitral valve prolapse, with multinodular thyroid causing hyperthyroidism, with autoimmune issues, and I was in a lot of anxiety. I had a lot of fear. I was really scared that I was going to die. And this is when I first discovered Ho'oponopono. And I used those phrases. And so I met every single part of me that was crying out for my love and attention through pain and suffering. I welcomed it. And I met it with those phrases. And so I'd say to my heart palpitations, to my heart, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me for whatever I did in this lifetime and in all lifetimes that may have created this reality for you. Thank you, right? Thank you for the communication. Thank you for crying out for my attention, because really everything is just a cry for love, or it is love, as A Course in Miracles says. And then I told it I love you. The numbness in my face, the tingling in my arm. And eventually it just settled into these 3 phrases that my beautiful friend Gloria, who's been a client and a great friend of mine, she reminded me of how powerful these phrases are the other day. And those phrases are, I'm here. I love you. I'm listening. So the Ho'oponopono mantra, or just going to your aches and your pains or your monkey mind, that part of you that's so scared, that part of you that's doubting yourself, that part of you that feels like she's not good enough. And just saying to her, just imagine bringing her into your lap, bringing her into your heart, and just saying, I'm here. I love you. I'm listening. And just breathe and listen. Give that part of you an experience of your loving presence, because I promise you, healing takes place in your presence, not in your absence. Your loving presence is the ultimate healer of any part of you that is showing up. And that includes the people outside of you showing up for you. If you can be loving presence, if you can just be fully present and just anchored in the love that you are, there's so much healing available in your presence. So I would invite you to practice that. Practice just noticing whatever's organically coming up in your life that's causing some ripples, some waves, some emotions to surface, because those are just the unresolveds that are being triggered, and they're coming up because they need your love, not because they need your judgment, not because they need you to try and fix them or change them or bust through them. They need your gentle, loving kindness. They need your presence. So meet them with your presence. What you're feeling, you're healing, and that's always the first step, right? Is just to acknowledge what is, welcome what is, feel it, allow it, tell it. You're allowed to feel fear, anger, hatred, all those things. And then go to forgiveness. Forgiven, forgiven, forgiven. I'm so sorry. Right? And that's the vibration of just compassion. I'm sorry for your pain. Please forgive me for my part in that. Please forgive me for any time I've been unconscious. And I forgive them for their unconsciousness. We're all unconscious at certain times in our life. Thank you. Gratitude. I love you. The highest vibration. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit more centered, a little more open, a little more ready to connect with yourself, with any part that's surfacing for you, with another, with the tree in front of you, with your pet. You can practice this with anything, with anyone. Just bringing them into your heart. I'm here. I love you. I'm listening. Offer your full loving presence. So I do have a free gift for you. I have a self-love assessment and a checklist that hits on all the parts of yourself, because really that is what true healing is integrating every part, getting your body, your mind, and your spirit all aligned so that you can actually operate in flow and true pure love and connection. And so I would encourage you to grab those. I wrote it above. Please grab those free gifts. And I think you'll get an email where you can actually book a clarity call with me as well. So if you want to dive deep into something that has been troubling you, I would love to assist you. Thank you so much for being here. And thanks, Virio, for sharing this opportunity with me. Thank you, Elizabeth, for this incredible group. Like, man, the energy, I was just like vibrating with life force energy. And so I super appreciate all of the powerhouse women that are showing up in this group. Love you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks, guys. Bye. Have a great night.